Ever since President Kennedy issued a call to service that became the Peace Corps, Americans have been volunteering to go to the ends of the earth to help others. What might surprise you is the age of some of these working world travelers. Peace Corps regional recruiter Annabelle Corey and past Peace Corps volunteer Wendy Munyon are here to tell us why so many seniors are signing up. So welcome to the show.
Thank you.
So older Americans are actually allowed to be in the Peace Corps?
Absolutely. Peace Corps definitely values the experience that our older volunteers bring to the Peace Corps. In fact, we had a volunteer turn 80 while serving in South Africa recently.
Goodness.
So overall, if you're willing and able, we definitely would welcome your application.
Probably keeps you young too. So Wendy, you could probably be the poster child for volunteers of a certain age. So why were you drawn to the Peace Corps?
I went to college in the 1960s when the Peace Corps was relatively new. I've always known volunteers, and all of them have said it's a great experience. So as I was approaching retirement, I had done some traveling, but I never felt like I really got to know the people where I had traveled as a tourist.
Being a tourist, right? Yeah.
And so about a year before I was ready to retire, I put in my application, and a year later I was on my way.
All right. So this was after retiring from a real job too, right?
I was a lawyer for an insurance company for 30 years.
So when you went for the Peace Corps, where did you go and what did you actually get to do?
I worked as a community health volunteer in Burkina Faso, which is in the middle of West Africa. I was with a very rural, small clinic that had 2 nurses and 3 midwives. And I worked trying to educate mothers about how to feed their children right. I weighed babies, I vaccinated them, and helped with a nutritional supplement program. I worked in the schools with middle school age girls who, I had a girls club where I taught them about women's reproductive health and healthy living. And I tried to educate some older people about what's normal about getting older and what you really need to see a professional about.
Okay. Did you get to choose where you went?
No, not at that time, but recently the rules have changed, and now you have more choice in where you get to go.
Okay, so you get some background on the place to make sure it fits you?
The Peace Corps has a wonderful website that I would strongly suggest anybody look at who's considering it.
Okay, so Annabelle, if someone wants to volunteer, what's the next step?
Well, I would say the very first step is to do your research, make sure it's a good fit for you, and find folks like Wendy to talk with about their experience, again, to do some personal reflection on whether it's a good fit. And if you do decide you want to apply, it's easier than ever. We just made some changes to our online application, including choosing where you want to go, a much shorter online application, and apply by and no by dates, so it's much easier to plan for a Peace Corps assignment. So once you submit that Peace Corps application, our offices will contact you and interview you and try to make a match based on your skills, your background, and your preferences.
Okay, are there medical checks or
Yes.
criminal checks or any of that kind of thing?
Yes, we do a background check on every applicant. We also ask that applicants get medically cleared to go abroad. However, Peace Corps does provide full medical coverage when you're serving overseas.
Okay, what's the time commitment?
It's a 27-month time commitment, and that includes 3 months of pre-service training followed by 2 years of service, and that's all overseas.
Oh, wow, okay. Is there any shorter time period? Somebody who just can't give it that much time?
Yes, I'm so glad you asked that, because we do have a shorter option called Peace Corps Response, and that is open mostly to return Peace Corps volunteers, but it recently was opened up to working professionals with at least 10 years of experience. So I think your viewers would be very good candidates for that program as well.
So Wendy, one last thing. If you would have any tips or ideas for seniors considering doing this, what would they be?
As Annabelle said, I would do some research, talk to as many people as you can, look at the websites. There are lots of good books and blogs by returned volunteers. Don't be afraid. The Peace Corps gives you the training that you need to do the job they assign you to, and just rely on your patience and flexibility. Don't expect that everything is going to go exactly as you had planned it, because it won't. But if you can be patient and flexible and keep your sense of humor, it is a fabulous experience.
Sounds like a great opportunity. Participation in the Peace Corps is an experience of a lifetime. To find out more about volunteering, use the information that's coming up next. My thanks to Annabelle and Wendy for opening up this whole world to us today.
To learn more, call the Peace Corps at 855-855-1961 or visit www.peacecorps.gov. Next, getting a move on.